Hello and happy January. It's a bit chilly out there. I'm actually leaving the freezer open this morning to warm the house up. Anyway, happy January. This month on the podcast, coming up, we have this week Tetiana Kobzar talking about her experiences from software developer to entrepreneur, founding her own business, leadership lessons she learned along the way, some insights into balancing those key competing priorities of technology versus business viability. So interesting conversation coming up this week. Next week, I'll be talking to Jon Morris about how he went from winning a $10,000 business plan prize to a $40 million revenue business. Very impressive. Good conversation next week. The week after that, I'll be talking with Joanna Zhang about leadership, the crossovers with spirituality, her experiences of micromanagement, setting up a VA business, running it, all sorts of things. And then the final week will be kind of touching on that spirituality piece again, human nature, human psychology, the meaning of life, the meaning of leadership, with my final guest of the month, Christian de la Huerta. So keep watching. There's a few previews after I stop talking, so you'll get a sneak preview of each of those episodes. Have a great month. And as I say this, it's either snowing again or the wind is blowing it off the roof. So I'm going to go and find something warm and try not to feel miserable.
How do you want users to feel when they are using your product? Because people can do things based on different emotions. So some people, they are doing better with somebody very nice and very supportive. Yes, you can do it. Another push up. Well done. Others prefer the most strict. Hey, you, fat ass, do something, So that's and it's those approaches are very different and people feel very different. But there are people who prefer each of those approach. Some are some more a scientific approach. So let me explain how it works, where your muscles connect and other things. Other guys prefer more games in the experience. So that's a very, very different emotions, a very different experiences that could be built inside the solution that does, for example, the same thing. And the same with gamification and human-centered design. You still have this general, very, very high level idea of how do you want your customers to feel when they're interacting with your product or even service.
You need to surround yourself with A players. And if you have a B player that you can't turn into an A player, you need to let them go. If you have a C player, you have to let them go. But, especially if you're small, your first 10 employees are the most important employees. If you think about, if you have 3 bad employees out of 10, that means 30% of your workforce is not producing at the level that you need. And so you need to have an incredibly high standard. The second thing is typically there's 95% right, 5% wrong. And I really try to lean on the 95% right and make people feel great about themselves as opposed to the 5% wrong. It's important that your team members know that you care. Even if they're not a good employee, even if you're going to let them go, that doesn't mean they're bad people. You can still do it in a caring way. But I think it's really important that they know that there's love, that there's caring, that you want to do right by them. And then the third one is, I believe in this concept of a performance-based culture. And there needs to be a certain level of intensity to thrive in a competitive environment.
To be honest with you, I used to hate challenges, but whenever I experience that, but I can always somehow overcome it. But I used to actually afraid of that. I said, the less the better, right? Because at that time, I am afraid of, I have a great fear on the unknown. Because I used to be a controlling freak. When I started my business, started to lead a team, I was totally a title leader stage at that time. I'm not sure whether if any of the audience actually work in the corporate, whatever it is, we all probably went through that stage of, I'm a manager now, I'm team leader now, I have this title. So I went through that period of a title leader stage of, okay, I'm here now, I got to control and then, make sure everything is safe. So at that time, because I needed safety, so I don't like unknown. So when you say the challenges, I believe is always there. Ever experienced the biggest one? I don't know. And the thing is that probably if the more I can handle the risk, the more I'm open to the unknown, probably the more challenges are there.
Well, maybe to redeem myself with the your UK audience, I would say King Arthur. And because of that whole concept of the round table, and the fact that his worth came not from conquering or destroying or killing. It came from his innate qualities and his innate worth that allowed him to pull the sword out of the stone. And because his approach to power was not hierarchical again, it was like having everybody at the table, and having the wisdom to listen to advice from others, whether it was Merlin or the other knights at the table. And again, that inclusiveness. I think those are all incredibly powerful leadership qualities. I don't know where you draw the line between what's true and what's myth, but it's certainly something to admire and aspire to.